Hey guys, Lord Naren White here, the Holy Ghost, the one true God. Back with you with the next video in my Baldur's Gate 3 playthrough. Today, continuing Baldur's Gate 3. Okay, so picking back up with this video here, so we can explore this area of Worthington. See what exactly is over here. Now that we sold like a bunch of stuff to Mattis, we've lost a lot of our encumbrance issues, which is just fantastic. So actually, I think it would be really useful to try and organize the inventory a bit. I'm gonna just send everything to Lae'zel that we need to sell in the future, so that way, you know, no real concerns. So we know that, you know, Lae'zel has a bunch of stuff to sell, and Gale has a bunch of scrolls that he can read and learn from eventually, so it's good. Excellent, so. Alright, so inventory management well taken care of, and we can push forward from there.
Can't give up now.
Oh, so.
Halt, citizen! This is a restricted area. Explain yourself.
I just wanted to see what was inside this barn, no funny business.
Funny enough for me to take you to Manip Nesta, I think. Come on.
The hell's you doing in here?
You could say, I was just curious about what's inside this barn. Or, alright, I was looking for stuff to steal. We could attack, or we could say deception. I'll be honest with you, I'm hot on the trail of one of my client's prize pigs, Lulabelle. Let's just go ahead and pick. I was just curious what's
This is a
inside this
bar,
barn.
not a museum. Now get gone.
Alright, good enough. She didn't seemingly punish us. So. Let's talk with the other Flaming Fist members here.
If you want to chat, talk to Nesta. I like my personal space.
Fair enough, Flaming Fist fool. Well said.
Be on your way, citizen. Got a lot to keep my eye on round here.
You got it, Flaming Fist Barone. Interesting. Let's talk with Nestor.
Can't keep out of trouble, can ya? If you don't have anything to donate, you can get going.
You could donate some gold, donate some supplies, or we could say, most people would donate more if you weren't so rude, or actually I think I'll hang on to it for now. Let's say persuasion. I'd like to take the donation into the barn itself. Let's try that. No. We'll use inspiration. Roll again. Nice.
Well, if you must, I suppose it saves me the walk. But if you're gonna do it, hurry up.
So now we're allowed into the barn. I'll talk with Broadhorn.
I hear you've been given permission to be here. Don't disappoint me.
Flaming Fist Madigan.
You best not piss away Manip Nestor's good graces. The Worms Rock prison is rather cold this time of year.
Hear you loud and clear, Flaming Fist Madigan. Who's over here? This is on the other side. So theoretically, you would loot this whole place. I think if you chose to fight them, but...
Careful. There's a trap here.
We are not going to try and fight them, so... Journal. Investigate the suspicious toys. Okay. Well, let's try. No. Roll again. No inspiration. No. Gotta try again. We got it.
Can you please give me a hug? Bet your arms would be so snug.
Who's that rummaging around in there? Show yourself! You have 2 seconds to explain yourself before you're under arrest.
Let's go ahead and say, I found a load of toy bears rigged to explode, but don't worry, I disarmed them.
What? Those are children's toys. Which means if a child had picked one up... I don't want to think about it. How do I know you're not the one who planted those explosives?
We could either say, I just wanted to see what was inside the barn. Or we could say deception. I was sent by the council to check up on your operations. Or persuasion. Why would I disarm my own explosives? I just want to find whoever's responsible. Let's go ahead and say persuasion. Unfortunately, this is Lae'zel rolling. But we have a few bonuses there. And we got it.
Alright, I guess it can't hurt. I'll check up on the rest of the goods. You try and find whoever is responsible for this.
Okay, cool.
No time to rest.
So the quest will probably have updated.
No, sir.
Investigate the suspicious toys. We should find the culprit. Interesting.
Swift as my feet can carry me.
I wonder who the culprit is. Is it on our map anywhere? Interesting. Well, I'll tell you what. I'm going to go ahead and actually look up the answer to that online. Okay, so let's go figure that out. Oh, a pig! It's over here. Let's talk with everybody here. First, Flaming Fist Locken.
Gods. Not another protester. Go talk to Nestor if you must. I've got plenty on my plate with these mewling geese.
Rick Scarvin.
You see them over there? Refugees? Ha! Naught but a cover. I know what they really are. Dyed-in-the-wool agents of the Absolute. Mark my words.
We could go with an intimidation roll saying, I'll mark more than your words, praise the Absolute, Jesus. Or, you're right, they could be anywhere. Or what we'll say is, you think all of the refugees are hardcore absolutists?
There's probably only a handful of rotten apples among them. Or, you know what they say about rot? It spreads quickly. Ruins the whole bunch.
To take down
Next,
troublemakers.
Sarah
So
Grotpole.
don't make... Please just go home. You're ruining a perfectly uneventful posting with this nonsense.
The Flaming Fists are supposed to protect this good city.
but they allow trash and vermin to take our homes and goods. Ah, another visitor, I see. Listen, we keep letting the likes of you in, soon there'll be no room left for any of us true Baldurians.
We could say, someone's added explosives to toys meant for refugees. Sounds familiar. Or Baldurian. Baldur's Gate is the most diverse city in all of Faerun. We should take them in with pride. Or refugees aren't strays, they are people, and they need help. Or we could say Oath of Devotion. It is one's duty to protect those with nothing. Or Baldurian. Your accent's Rivingtonian. That hardly counts. Or we can say, what I'll say is Baldurian. I'll have you know I was born and bred in Baldur's Gate.
Oh, my apologies. Now I hear you speak, I, of course, realise you're a local.
Next, let's say Baldur's Gate is one of the most diverse city in all of Faerun. We should take them in with pride.
Another bleeding heart. Piss off and take it elsewhere. Young lady.
Mandel Harvest Moon. Oh wow, this guy called over Shadowheart. We'll talk to him in a second.
File a report.
Between you and me, I don't think there are enough flaming fists here for these refugees.
Why do you say that?
Us Baldurians can't feel safe with so many of them roaming about without proper supervision. Let's hope Archduke Gortash can make a difference.
That's not a good sign. Call him Gortash's name. Not sure we want that. Let's talk to Furuk Droga.
I just lost a wager, thanks to you.
Who are you?
Someone who bets that you'd never be foolish enough to actually show your face in this city again. But here you are. And the gold in my purse is soon to take flight.
We could say remain silent, or our hearts bleed for you, get to the point, or what we will say, which is you're a Sharan, aren't you? From Shadowheart's cloister.
There have been whispers about you, sister. About your faith, your loyalty, your company. I can't help but feel the strangest twinge of disgust as I look upon you. Is it true? Has Our Lady forsaken you?
We could use your shared connection, urge Shadowheart to lie, no. Or reach out to her psionically. She should plead contrition for now, no. Or let Shadowheart handle it, no. Or what we'll say, I mean, that's not a bad option, but what we'll say is she has turned her back on your wretched goddess.
I suppose that's the subtle approach dispensed with?
Oh, don't be so harsh. It's plain to see that you turned heretic, even if your friend had kept his mouth shut.
Let's say let Shadowheart handle it.
I know the truth. I know my parents still live. Tell me where they are, and I have no quarrel with you.
I'm afraid the quarrel is unavoidable, thanks to you. Now I must report your reappearance. If you are intent on bringing matters to a head, then seek out the House of Grief in the lower city. Though, if I was you, I'd be very tempted to just forget it all and disappear. You have some form of doing so, after all.
Interesting. So next step is to go to the House of Grief. And we sure will.
Paid to take down troublemakers.
Let's talk with Thuldra Thuldren after we save. That's a dwarf name if I'd ever heard one. Thuldra Thuldren. Is she a dwarf? Seriously, the name sounded like one of those dwarves from like the Mines of Moria or something, like Thuldra. Right? Yeah, I don't know. That sounds like a dwarf name.
Don't pay me any mind now. I'm just trying to make sure everyone gets fed.
Thanks, Thuldra. Sister Hagira?
Lord on the rack, give me patience.
Is everything alright?
These protesters keep harassing the refugees. It's horrid. I just hope the Ilmater Temple opens up aid again soon. We need their help here.
All said. Let's talk to Zindra here. What does she have to say?
I'm busy. Mind your own.
Okay, Zindra. Something to say for sure. How about here? We didn't mean to affect her campfire. Let's talk with Auditor Dance first.
Glad to see you. Glad to see anybody, really. It was a lonely road getting here through those abandoned farmlands, and I'm a sociable sort.
Good to hear from you, Auditor Dance. Next, Dandy Thistlepetal.
Well, to be fair, for a miserable collection of shabby hovels jam-packed with wretched refugees, this place isn't bad at all.
It's good to hear. How about here? Let's talk with Griselda.
I apologize for my husband and his obsession with that bloody dog.
What was that, my dear?
Nothing, darling.
And Fortuna?
No, I'm afraid I must insist you do not pet the hound.
My love, you can't keep being so rude to strangers. It's just a dog.
All the grabbing and touching startles poor Biscotti. I will not apologise for caring about my boy.
We could either say a bit presumptuous, I never said I wanted to pet your dog, or if simple petting startles the dog, I can only imagine how stressful this camp is. Now what we'll say instead is, either way, he's a fine-looking hound.
Isn't he just? I'm so very glad they let animals in the camp. Means Biscotti can be kept away from that awful war.
Oh, yes. As long as the dog is okay, he's happy. Give me strength.
It's good to hear.
With farmers.
How about Tinker Nazim?
What are we gonna do in the city?
Heads will roll for this. This transgression. This injustice.
I know the way they treat you refugees around here is terrible.
I don't give a shit about all that. It's how I've been treated, which is the real travesty. A perfectly respectable businessman wants to bring his, well, business into this fine city. And what do?
Let him continue ranting.
They talk some absolute horse bollocks about papers and correct filing procedures and threw me in this slum. I should be loins deep in Chares's caress by now, not waddling about in filth.
Next is Nilos Bright.
We've got to get Grunch into the city, but he's in no shape to travel. I wonder, what if we hid him in a big barrel and nailed it shut? Nah.
Gregory Bright.
Don't know how we're gonna get Grunch into the city, wounded as he is. But we have to.
Interesting. Take care, Gregory. Giselle Flintspitter. Let's start with Grona.
Ah! Whatever you need. I can't help you. Even talking is painful right now.
Let's say medicine. Let me take a look at that wound. Nice.
After a quick examination, you conclude that your patient is pretending to be wounded. You wonder why.
Really? This isn't necessary. I'm sure there are other people that need your help more urgently.
This is barely a scratch. What's the idea?
Shh, not so loud. If those lads find out I'm faking, they might go off on their own.
They're not ready for that. And frankly, I'd miss them. I don't really have any other friends. And I like those lads. So I think I'll stick around a while more.
Alright, Drona.
You're no sauce. I put my money on Christine.
Let's talk with Giselle.
Can't stand her, can't stand her, can't stand her! My sister-in-law. All law and no sister.
Garen.
Actually got here safely. Towing along my wife's sister and mother. Or maybe they towed me along, eh?
Christine.
God, camping with the mother-in-law has been utter hell. Maybe I should just go on ahead into the city without her. Scouting, like.
It's only a couple of pots. I'll do it.
Ramona.
My son Garen is pleased we got this far together. But his wife's bitching is making me old before my time. Why can't he tell her to put a sock in it?
Umi.
They got me signed up to learn to make pots, which is dumb. I'd rather learn how to kill cultists. And I bet you'd back me up on that.
Let's focus on one step at a time, Umi. Next, I.
I'm really worried about Umi.
Zoro.
So, you survived. That's more than many of my kin can say.
At least you made it. How are you holding up?
It's mainly anger that keeps me going. Zevlor was supposed to lead us, but he froze when we needed him most. I haven't seen him since the massacre on the road, which is lucky for him.
Ceres.
What a sad situation. The once proud tieflings of Elturel, reduced to beggars.
Beck.
So many since Elturel. You're all right. My gods, you're all right.
Come here, darling.
Smile. They look so happy.
I was so scared I'd lost you.
Me too. But we're here now. Safe.
It's wonderful to see you two back together.
Credit where it's due. Bex, this is the one who helped me and the others escape.
This isn't the first time you've helped us. Saved our lives, really. Why?
You were in trouble. I wanted to help. Simple as that.
You make it sound so easy. But I know the lengths you've gone to on our behalf. We'll never forget it. Never, ever. Here. Take these for the road. It's the least I can do.
Hey, thanks. Let's talk with Dennis.
Bards can talk their way.
We made it alive to Baldur's Gate. Almost, anyway. But I can't complain. When I look at Bex and realize she's safe, it's hard not to weep from joy.
I'm happy for you, man.
Sorry,
Rescue the tieflings. Excellent.
Don't take that on yourself. You know who's really responsible.
Save. talk now with Dork.
Washing my pits, this is the song when up. Aye! Gonna bloke not get any bleating privacy around here. Bunch of perverts, the lot of you.
Blaming Mr. Roland.
Hail, friend. Fine day, isn't it? Forgive me, you're in no mood to talk about the weather. Your journey here was a hard one, no doubt. Is this your first time in Baldur's Gate?
We could say, do they pay you extra to act so goddamned cheerful? Or, my past is none of your concern? Or, do I Baldurian, do I look like a tourist? I live here. Or what we will say, which is Baldurian, no. I'm Baldurian, born and bred. It's good to be home.
It's a fine city, isn't it? No better place to hail from. Used to be you'd arrive knowing you'd a full belly and a warm bed waiting for you. Not anymore. These days, there's barely enough to go around. Add the refugees on top and well, folk aren't feeling too generous.
We could say, sounds like that's your problem, not mine. Or, is there anything I can do to ease these people's burden? Or, I've got ways of making people share. No. I didn't come looking for handouts. I take care of myself. Or, I'm not surprised. Tensions seem high around here. Let's say, is there anything I can do to ease these people's burden?
I've been asking myself the same question. I wouldn't be the first to interfere. Some well-to-dos in the city donated enough to see the newcomers right for the time being. Only they didn't bother helping everyone else. Locals going without while strangers feast. It stoked the fire, all right. Some Baldurians are kicking up a fuss round the front of the barn as we speak. If I wasn't wearing this uniform, I'd walk round there and teach them a lesson they'd never forget.
We could say, I think your uniform would be enough to make them quieten down. Or, you're supposed to keep the peace, not stoke the fire. Or, I'm all in favor of re-education. It sounds like they have a lot to learn. Or, if the refugees have more than they need, it's only fair to give some back. Or, the people of this city have grown selfish. They need reminding what true hardship is. We'll pick the keep the peace line.
What peace? If no one steps in, there'll be bodies piled high in the streets before long. Those refugees have been leeching on our city for too long. If we don't show them that we mean business, they'll bleed us dry. We need to march round the front and kill every last one of them. Let's see them eat our food with their guts on the floor. What do you say?
We could say, both sides need teaching a lesson. Let's kill them all. No. Or they're innocent people, you can't just kill them. Or, you're a monster, I'm reporting you to your commanding officer. I'm actually going to look this up. Let's not report him. Let's just say they're innocent people. You can't just kill them. Honestly, this guy is a bit of a monster. Let's save here. Let's save and see what happens if we proceed down both paths. So first, let's say, you're a monster. I'm reporting you to your commanding officer.
Tell them! I'll cut out their eyes and make them watch!
So, you're the lick-spittle who crushed the Bone Lord's throne. Have you come begging, sniffing for our stones? Gortash won't like that. A throat his black hand can't choke the spit from. You'll need to bleed and carve this city if you want to turn him to grave meat. He shivers at the thought. When you find the Lordling, tell him Oren is watching.
Wow. So Oren is a shapeshifter. How long has she been watching?
Seriously. And I'm so glad we actually chose the option to report him, because the other option didn't seem like it maybe would have necessarily triggered it, but maybe it would have, because that's definitely the realization we were supposed to get from that, was that Oren was the one who was there. And so with that, I'll go ahead and end the video there for this week. I want to go ahead and say thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed. Please like, comment, and subscribe, as it greatly helps the channel. Light be with you all. Take care, and thanks again.